Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I've been a full-time YouTuber for a while now, and I figured for the first time in forever, I should share some of my wisdom publicly. So this video is sort of going to be me talking to myself from a year ago, that kid that wanted to blow up on YouTube but didn't know how. I'll give you guys some super effective tips, and I'll try to include some stuff in here that you don't hear in a lot of the other tips videos. Hello everybody, welcome back to Toxic TV. I've been a full-time YouTuber for about 7-8 months now. I've learned a lot, got a bunch of subscribers, and got an insane amount of views. And so I'm just gonna be upfront with you guys and tell you everything that I think a small creator would want to know if they're starting YouTube. Or not even if they're just starting YouTube, if they're just struggling and getting views on YouTube. This video is for you. So first thing I have to say is that none of your videos are gonna get any views if you don't actually offer something to the viewer. This may seem obvious, but it's clearly not obvious enough since there are so many people just hopping in front of a mic and just playing a video game for like 20 minutes and uploading it. Nobody wants to watch that stuff. You have to be absurdly entertaining to make that work. And even if you're absurdly entertaining, you're going to be relying on the algorithm a lot to even promote that. People need a reason to click and watch your video. And the sad fact of the matter is that no one knows who you are. So if you make a video just playing a video game and just upload it, nobody's going to click on it because why would they? There is nothing there for them that compels their interest in any way, shape, or form. So when you're coming up with your video concepts or ideas, which you should have time when you are doing that, like put specific time aside just for coming up with ideas if you don't already. But yeah, be sure to come up with ideas where the central pillar of the video is something that a large amount of people have interest in. For example, I would never just make a random video talking to the camera about nothing. But if you can find a super interesting topic that isn't that well covered and you make a video talking about that topic, who knows, maybe you could have something there. I think that is also pretty difficult too, because I mean everything's been talked about, and a high value video is often something that is both original and high quality. So a video just talking about something kind of struggles to fill either of those categories. For anyone wondering, what I did before this and what I made most of my money off of was gaming informational content, like talking about the hidden weapons in a game, cut content, the unwritten rules. I was grasping at stuff in the game and bringing people in who were interested in the game already. So they didn't need to have any interest in me. They just needed to play this game and then boom bada bang. That's the only prerequisite you need to watch and be interested and enjoy my content. I never made the channel about me or anything else. I made it solely about Elden Ring. I only made my videos about something that appeals to a mass amount of people, and I made them as high quality as possible, and I made them as original as possible. So if I were you, I would take a look at your content strategy and honestly ask yourself why someone would click on your videos. Because let me tell you right now, it isn't luck and it isn't the algorithm. If you make a good video, people are going to click on it. If you want a tip that will allow you to make better content right here, right now, without learning any skills or anything, a method you can do is called the yoink and twist. That's what Ludwig called it, and that's just generally what I call it, but it can go by a bunch of different names. The yoink and twist is essentially you being in a certain niche. For example, you could be in the golfing niche. If you made golfing YouTube videos, then something that you could do to make a really good golfing YouTube video is to go to the basketball side of YouTube. And if you can find a basketball video that got millions of views, for example, let's say this video that got millions of views is the top 5 craziest shots in all of basketball. You could take that idea and completely copy it, but change it to golf. So you can make a video on the top 5 craziest shots in all of golf. This is a very specific example. Somebody probably already did that, so don't try and make that idea, but you copying it and changing it to golf, it makes it a vastly different video. It's something that creators with millions of subscribers have done to get some of their most viral videos, and it is absolutely alright and you will never get in trouble for it. Now, if you want to take this technique to a higher level, what you can do is you can combine 2 ideas. For example, there were 2 different video ideas that went insanely viral. These video ideas was spending 100 days in a given game, and the other idea that went very viral was exploring a dead game. There were loads of videos that went insanely viral with these ideas, but this YouTuber decided to combine these ideas and he made a video called Spending 30 Days in a Dead Game. Both of these ideas alone were already such appealing subjects that they by themselves made viral videos. So when you combine these appealing ideas, it just absolutely blows up. So the level 1 yoink and twist is to simply take an idea from another creator and bring it into your niche. The level 2 yoink and twist is to take multiple ideas and combine them into one video that is a new thing. The level 3 yoink and twist, however, is making something that is completely rare on YouTube and doing something that exists very little or doesn't exist at all in the YouTube space. The number one way to do a tier 3 yoink and twist is to take a look at traditional media and find something that's never been done on YouTube, whether it's in a TV show, a movie, or even some sort of newscast, and bring that to YouTube. Some of the most successful YouTube videos ever has come from a tier 3 yoink and twist. For example, Mr. Beast's Squid Game video. Mr. Beast quite literally took the idea of Squid Game from the TV show, which was an insanely popular show, and then recreated it on YouTube, and he got a shit ton of views for it. But as you can probably guess from the Squid Game example, tier 3 ideas can generally be pretty hard to do as a small YouTuber, because to actually do these ideas that have a lot of mainstream appeal and that possibly yield millions of views, you often need a decent amount of resources. But if you look around enough, you actually can find some stuff that you can do even as a smaller YouTuber, which brings us to our next example. There's this YouTuber called Codename Pizza. He made COD Zombies videos, and he started this series called Myth-Busting Mondays. It was obviously inspired by the super famous show Mythbusters, and he essentially took that idea of testing things in theories that aren't quite proven in the game and trying to prove them through testing. And when he took it and brought it to zombies, it got hella views. You can honestly argue that it made his career. I know that that was one of the main reasons I started watching him, and then I became a legitimate fan after that. If you can nab a tier 3 idea from mainstream entertainment, you can possibly have a career-defining video on your hands. So I recommend you to start combing through all the most famous TV shows and mainstream media, and they could possibly hold some gold that could make your career. Now that you know how to make absolutely amazing ideas, the real question is, how do you market those videos? And that moves us on to titles and thumbnails. Titles are pretty simple. If you yoink the idea from another YouTuber, you just use a very similar titling scheme, but switch the subject to whatever you're covering. And if you aren't obviously taking from someone, you still pretty much just steal. The way that most of the bigger YouTubers create some of their great titles is usually by just taking a really popular title format that has gotten millions of views and transforming it into their niche. As an example, let me show you my old YouTube channel. I investigated the longest grinds in Elden Ring. This is almost verbatim to this video, and I'm actually not the one who came up with this title, so I can't confirm that it was taken from the video, but if it wasn't taken from the video, then there's a high chance that the actual inspiration came from the same place as a video. And then the 7 deadly sins as Elden Ring bosses, we just took it from this Overwatch video, which in this case is technically an exception. We didn't really steal it, because the guy that made this Overwatch video actually works with me on the Elden Ring channel. So I have a bit more of a pass to steal things, but you can do the same thing to that extent and get away with it. The very act of translating it to a different niche makes it different enough to not make it stealing. And it's pretty much the same thing with thumbnails. You generally start looking through YouTube and you find some very common thumbnail metas. We all know the shocked face looking at the subject of the video. That has become like a disease on the platform. And if you want one of the more interesting examples of a thumbnail being yoinked, then take a look at this video. This is a thumbnail for a video that Mr. Beast made. Now take a look at this video. This other video was made before the Mr. Beast thumbnail, and it's obvious that Mr. Beast took a lot of inspiration from this thumbnail. Some people might even call it blatant stealing, but it isn't, because this kind of thing is completely accepted on YouTube. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel when you can just take someone else's blueprint and get double the results for way less the effort. So if you feel like this is scummy or anything, or if it's too much, then just look at the fact that the biggest person on the platform did it. There is nothing to worry about. Just do it and go out and get your viral videos. And maybe one of the most important tips is that you should always A/B test. If you guys don't know what A/B testing is, it essentially lets you put 3 thumbnails and or 3 titles on your video at the exact same time, and YouTube tests all of them to find out which one makes your video perform the best. So it's essentially free views. If you don't use this and create 3 titles and 3 thumbnails for each of your videos, you are literally throwing views away. And above all of that, when making an actual YouTube video, the only real thing you need to do is get good at the actual inner stuff, like doing voiceovers, scripting, and editing. But I, of course, can't help you with that. You guys have just got to put in the reps. But in this video, I tried to give you guys some effective tips that you could apply right now to make your videos do significantly better. This is, of course, intended for more beginner YouTubers or YouTubers who are just struggling in general. But if you guys really enjoyed this and want to see me talk about some more advanced stuff, maybe some stuff to do with monetization, revenue, or even just deeper strategies, and trust me, I do do have a lot. Be sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe. And also tell me in the comments that you want more of this. And tell me your favorite tip from the video. But yeah, I really hope that I'm able to help some small YouTubers with this. Because boy do I wish I could have had this information when I started. Also, just on the side, be sure to pick a niche when you're starting. And also make sure to go relatively hard on uploading so you learn as fast as possible. If you upload once a week, you will get better at video making so fast. On the screen right now is my other project, so be sure to check those out. On the left is my main channel, and on the right is my second channel. Thanks for tuning into Toxic TV, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.